Carl Jung once said, "Intuition gives man a glimpse of the possibilities that the future holds for him." But how many times have you felt that strong gut feeling, that inner voice trying to guide you, and simply ignored it? Whether in work, relationships, or major life decisions, something inside you knew the right path, but you doubted it. Science confirms that our brain processes information on a subconscious level long before we become aware of it. A study by Dr. Keiji Tanaka from the Riken Brain Science Institute revealed that intuition is not a mystical sixth sense but a real neural process. Using MRI scans on experienced shogi players, he discovered that brain areas such as the precuneus and the ventromedial prefrontal cortex are activated during intuitive decision-making. These regions are linked to memory and visuospatial processing, proving that intuition is a powerful cognitive tool. What would happen if you learned to listen and master your intuition? For Carl Jung, intuition was not just a hunch or a vague impression. He saw it as one of the four fundamental psychological functions of the mind, alongside thinking, feeling, and sensing. While thinking analyzes, feeling evaluates, and sensing perceives the physical world, intuition accesses information that is not immediately available to conscious logic. Jung believed that intuition acts as a bridge between the unconscious and the conscious. In his words, intuition is perception via the unconscious. This means that often, before we are consciously aware of something, our unconscious has already processed patterns, symbols, and past experiences, providing us with an immediate answer. A clear example of this is when we meet someone and without a rational explanation, feel a strong sense of trust, or, on the contrary, an immediate warning sign. This happens because our unconscious recognizes micro-expressions, tones of voice, and small details that our conscious mind does not immediately perceive. But if intuition is so powerful, why do so many people ignore it? This happens because of the fear. Many times we mistake intuition for anxiety. Fear comes with obsessive thoughts, restlessness, and an urgent need for answers. Intuition, on the other hand, is calm, subtle, and firm. Learning to distinguish between these voices is essential to avoid mistakes. Moreover, ignoring intuition can come at a high cost. Intuition is like an internal radar that picks up on things our rational mind has not yet processed. Ignoring it can have serious consequences, as illustrated by the experience of physicist and author Leonard Mlodinow in his book Subliminal, How the Unconscious Influences Our Lives. At age 20, Mlodinow was in Israel after the Yom Kippur War. One day, while walking through a rural area, he came across a sign in Hebrew. His knowledge of the language was limited, and he could not decipher the warning. Although something inside him suggested caution, he decided to keep walking. Moments later, he heard a man shouting in Hebrew and waving frantically. Mlodinow then realized the sign warned of landmines in the area. Fortunately, he escaped unharmed, but the situation could have been tragic. This episode highlights how intuition can alert us to imminent dangers, even when we lack conscious information. Modern society tends to value logic and reason, often neglecting intuitive wisdom, but recognizing and trusting your intuition is essential, and like any skill, it can be developed and refined. Let's explore how to cultivate this connection and turn it into a powerful ally in your life. The first step is to learn to listen to silence. Our intuition speaks in a low tone, and if we are always busy, distracted, or anxious, we will never hear it. Carl Jung recommended deep introspection, such as solitary walks, reflective writing, or even meditation. The goal is to quiet the noise of the conscious mind so that we can pick up on signals from the unconscious. One of the greatest enemies of intuition is cognitive bias. If intuition is a bridge between the unconscious and the conscious, everything we carry within us, like our beliefs, fears, and conditioning, influences this connection. For example, if you have a deep-seated prejudice, your intuition may be distorted by that bias, leading you to make incorrect judgments. Another way to train your intuition is to pay attention to your body's reactions. The body responds to information that the rational mind has not yet processed. When faced with an important decision, try this simple test. Imagine choosing one option and observe how your body reacts. Do you feel tightness in your chest? A knot in your stomach? Or, conversely, a sense of lightness and relief? These physical sensations are direct responses from your unconscious. Moreover, Jung spoke about the importance of recognizing patterns and synchronicities. Have you ever noticed when certain themes or symbols start to repeat in your life? A number that appears frequently, a piece of advice that arrives from different sources on the same day, or even recurring patterns in dreams? These events are not mere coincidences, they are signals that may be guiding you toward a path. The more you train your mind to notice these connections, the sharper your intuition will become. And finally, trusting your intuition requires strengthening self-confidence. If you do not believe in your own ability to make decisions, you will always seek external validation and ignore your inner voice. Practicing small intuitive decisions daily, such as choosing a different route home or following a creative impulse, can help reinforce this confidence. Trusting intuition does not mean abandoning reason, it means integrating it into decision-making. In analytical psychology, Jung emphasized that intuitive individuals see possibilities and solutions where others see only obstacles. Great scientists, artists, and leaders are masters at combining logic and intuition to create something extraordinary. Steve Jobs, for example, attributed much of his success to his ability to follow intuition, even when rational evidence suggested otherwise. The secret is not to choose one side but to learn to balance both. Carl Jung said, "Who looks outside, dreams, who looks inside, awakens." Intuition is that inner voice that has always been there, but which we often ignore due to distraction, fear, or excessive rationality. When you learn to listen to it, the world doesn't change, but the way you perceive and respond to it transforms completely. Imagine a life where your decisions are no longer based only on cold logic or the opinions of others, but on a deep alignment with what truly makes sense for you. When you strengthen your intuition, you begin to see opportunities before they become obvious, avoid traps that could be costly, and feel more confident in forging your own path. Share in the comments if you ever had an experience where your intuition tried to warn you about something. Did you listen or ignore it? And if you want to continue this journey of self-discovery, watch the next video appearing on your screen.